Sister Lily. Sister Lily. Sister Kaping. How can I send you the PPT, Sister Lily?
Hi, morning, brother.
Hey, morning.
Yeah, I have your PPT. Are you going to share yourself? You can do your own sharing.
Then you allow me to
Yeah, we grant you,
control.
Sister
Yeah.
Lee, can you grant control?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now you
Brother,
can.
and you can share. Yeah. Let me do the opening first, then only we will have the sharing.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, cảm ơn so much, brother. I know you're in a rush today.
Yeah, too many activities at the same time. So yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have to rush off after the sharing.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Brother Liang will stay, right? And
I'm not sure. I hope he can.
Morning, all brothers and sisters.
hi, morning.
Okay. Brothers and sisters, we'll start the opening now. A warm welcome to our Masters, Hualien Dharma team, and brothers and sisters around the globe to the Saturday Hualien Dharma talk. Let us start the session for today. Today I would like to share an accepted Master's speech. One act of kindness can dispel 1,000 disasters. Blessing lies in everyone's willingness to contribute. The blessings created by one person are not great in strength, but the blessings created by many people are regarded as auspicious signs. It is often said one act of kindness can dispel 1,000 disasters. Accumulating numerous blessings can dispel misfortune. We should constantly cultivate thoughts of kindness, engage in benevolent deeds. Everyone should continuously promote the virtuous Dharma benefiting sentient beings. This is to propagate the Dharma and benefit all beings. 感恩 to Master's teaching. Now let us send our sincere prayers into the 10 directions. May the Saha land be free from disaster and peace prevail in the world. Let us sing the prayer song with sincere piousness.
In my heart
all minds be purified. May there be peace in the community. May there be no disaster in the world. Now let us recite the universal love and blessing. With loving respect, gratitude, and confidence, let us wish every person in our lives a healthy body and enlightened mind, and a total fulfillment in universal love. Now let us expand this consciousness to include every person in the world, every being in the universe. Let our unified love make this wonderful world even better. Let us all immerse ourselves in the joyful embrace of universal love. Before we hear the wonderful sharing, let us invite our masters to lead us in paying homage to the Triple Gems. Let us pay our respect for these teachings and explanations to the Buddha and Master Cheng Yen by making 3 sincere bows. Please rise, palms together. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. And a bow to our beloved Abode Masters who could join us today. Okay, today we have our brother Andy and brother Liang who will be sharing with us on the live lessons at Taman Sinaran Harapan KKB, and followed by Master Deshu who will be sharing on the Nonviolent Communication Part 5. And finally, we have Sister Betty Dixon from Philippines be sharing on the unexpected best decision. Okay, before that, I will be sharing this. The weekly summary have been prepared by Sister Suji, but she is not available today, so I'll be sharing on behalf. So, Sister Chow Yok and Sister Gueto from Malaysia last week have shared lessons under the Bodhi tree. So, summary for Sister Chow Yok. In August heat, Sister Chow Yok's journey began to Bodh soil and unfamiliar land, strange surroundings, and many children with eyes so bright, absorb teachings on health, games, and songs with all their might. Children's voices echoed Kachara, they cried. Recycling lessons, their hearts united. Simple joys shared in games and song. Amidst lacking conditions, they persevere along. Classrooms are severely bare without cooling breeze, yet gratefulness blooms amidst life's squeeze. A gift to impart education is the light, as Master's wisdom illuminates, shining bright. Barefooted children carrying school bags made of rice sacks, yet in their smiles and warmth they show no lack. Through bamboo banks, the community exposed their heart. Giving is not reserved only for the wealthy. All can play a part. On Charity Day in mud and rain, groceries are distributed with care no matter the terrain. Children are contributing in every task. Their spirits are light, their faces pure and unmasked. At the Mahabodhi temple, every Sunday would shine. Volunteers are reciting sutras at the sacred shrine. On Indians' Independence Day, up on Vulture Peak's crest, Sister Chow Yok shared the spiritual experience while feeling blessed. In humble kitchen, in the hotel, meals are prepared. The market produce is sparse, but love is shared. Dharma's teachings are a guided light. In every challenge, shining bright. And next we have Sister GT. In Bodh Gaya, a place of challenge, doubt did swell. Could Sister GT endure some unearthly smell? Yet amid the difficult environment, cows roamed free, supplying milk for students and faculty. Nature's touch is close to the schools, with birds and goats roam freely in a peaceful rule. Children are easily contented with a simple joys. Amidst their work, there are no worldly noise. Yet caste remain a shadow on societal blight. Love can overcome this in time with spiritual light. Mothers and children learn about hygiene beneath the Bodhi tree's shade. a bridge of love from heart displayed. There are language hurdles, but love's understood. In acts of kindness which are universally good, lessons shared about sobriety grace. As a village mother leads the chase. The day of heat and nights cold and stark. Through illness grip, a light still sparked. To some doors are luxury, yet heart found wealth. A man transformed from a beggar's plight to wisdom's stealth. Their locals did skit performances, a poignant call to shun the bottle once and for all. A man turned from drunkard, falls to role models rise, shared his heartwarming journey mirrored in his family's grateful eyes. Hygiene is taught from lies to washing hands. In orderly lines, the locals can understand. Through trial phases, a vow Sister GT again made to return to Bodh where hearts were swayed. In the training of new volunteers, a beacon bright. Patience is the main ingredient, the guiding light. 50 souls now stand in unity, slowly but surely spreading harmony. And next we have Brother David Liu on the Q&A. Question 1. In this land, dogs endure silent pain, abuse and neglect, a cruel refrain. Can Tzu Chi's mission include aid the voiceless plight to dogs that are forgotten and fight for their right? The answer from Brother David Liu. In this vast world, Tzu Chi's reach may fall short. Too many beings, too numerous to support. Affinity dictates fate, even for our furry friends. Limit exists where compassion bends. Buddha and Master Cheng Yen with wisdom's call still face constraints beyond their thrall. To educate all, to transform our hearts, and to bear the individual karma's weight. This task too vast for mortal fate. Question 2. Vows made with noble intent, the volunteer strives to fulfill, yet health wanes and families' needs stand still. The volunteers struggle to balance Tzu Chi's noble quest and the harmony at home and while convincing the rest. The answer? This common flight strays from Master's light. One needs to align both left and right. Transforming ourselves, our mission is clear, even if in Tzu Chi's fold our strive is sincere. Practice makes perfect, duty is an art. Balancing role is a delicate part. Both are important, spiritual growth and family ties. You cannot have one without the other neath life's vast skies. 感恩 for listening. Now we'll hand over to Sister Kapi to introduce the next speaker. 感恩.
感恩 Sister Lily for the great summary of last week's sharing. Yes, and today, this morning, we're going to start with Brother Andy, followed by Brother Liang and Sister Eileen. It's great that today is actually the first time we have got the entrepreneurial group sharing, and none other than these brothers and sisters who have been really diligent, dedicated, and steadfast in looking after the residents in this home in KKB. And they will share the beginning, how this all started, and also the experiences. So yes, over to you, Brother Andy. You can share your slides now. Thank you.
Yes, Chang and Sister Kaping and Sister Lily for allowing me to have this short time to prepare. not really the short time. Is my own problem. I have very little time to prepare for this sharing.
Really grateful.
Yeah, because lately I've been very busy. Yeah. So yeah, without further ado, how do I share my,
You go to share screen, brother.
yeah,
Okay, and then can you click on the file that you want to share? Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Are you able to
Yes, we
see
are
my,
able to see.
yeah,
Yes.
okay. So basically today we will be introducing what is KKB. We've been talking about what KKB, but actually KKB is just a place, the name of a place. The right address, the right name for that place should be Taman Sinaran Harapan. Yeah, this is in Malay, of course. And excuse me, my English is not very good. I'm Chinese educated, so probably you need to excuse me for my misspelling or that good. Yeah.
Brother, you're doing well. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Right now, before I start off, I introduce myself a little bit. Yeah, this is been retrenched. I just start with year 2008 because during that time, it was the economic crisis for Asia. Yeah. So, and at that time, prior to that, the company that I work with have merged with another, or they bought over another company. So that is a big group of people. So they have to streamline and have to reshuffle. So I was one of them that been laid off during that time, due to the economic crisis. So at that point of time, I felt very bad. I felt that, yeah, why everything happened, all the bad things happened to me. Yeah. I was at that time, my home was flooded. Uh, I have been retrenched, and during that time, my two kids are still very very young. They are just infants, and at that time, 8 years old. Yeah, uh, my daughter is only 8 years old, about to go to school. Yeah, so yeah, even though I got the benefits of the compensation, but that doesn't last me long. And I worked with my ex-colleague in from the Netherlands, but he only managed to pay me maybe about 4 to 5 months, and after that he couldn't pay me anymore. So all the bad things at that time happened to me. I felt the whole world is collapsing on me. And yeah, myself, my wife, and my children, at that point of time, we only have the chance of having a real rice and meal when we join the Buddhist society in PJ, where we send our children to the something like Sunday school, and then my wife helped up in the kitchen. Yeah, and then when during their break time, that is where our our family have a good meal. Yeah, that is only once a month. Yeah. So at the time, I felt that everything is so bad, you know. My whole world is collapsed. Even though before that I have quite good pay. Yeah. So in year 2010, I start off my own business because there is really no other choice. At that time, my age also catching up. I already 40 plus. And at that time, the economy is just recovering. So there are hardly anybody, any company hiring. So I have no choice but to start off my own business. Yeah. So it was really a difficult time for me. And yeah, in 2012, my wife went looking for school or supplement school that can help my kids because both my kids have a little bit of dyslexia. I do not know if you know about dyslexia is kind of defect in learning. So we send them for training and all that. So during that point of time, everything bad it just surround me. So I really felt bad, you know. And after she came to know about Tzu Chi, she introduced Tzu Chi to me. And yeah, I told her I have no time. I really have no time because there are so many problems that I have to handle. Business just starting up. There are so many things that I have to look after. So I told her, to me, doing charity is yeah, any extra money you can just give and help. Yeah. I say later, maybe a few years later when my everything is settled, then we can come. But yeah, by end of 2013, my wife wanted me to join the entrepreneur group to Taiwan. Yeah. She requested me to join her for a vacation. During that time, she told me, um, can you bring me for a vacation in Taiwan at the end of the month of the year? For me, it was really difficult because uh, we have been really tight in our financial. And to her, she has always been understanding and never asked for anything more. Yeah. So this is only time that she requested for a vacation. So I say, okay, I will bring you. Yeah. So we went together for this entrepreneur trip back to Taiwan. And that's where I open up my eyes and see all the things, the very touching stories and the contributions that Tzu Chi have done. Yeah. And understanding that uh, the world is coming, we are at the last stage of the, how do I say in in English, this is at the end stage of the
Generation, is it, brother? More far, 时期是吧？
Mofa, yes. Mofa,
Dharma
but how do you say in English?
Dharma degeneration.
Yeah. So our master have been urging us, yeah, you have to, time is running out. We have to act. We have to do our part. Yeah. So when I came back, I have the opportunity to join the Sui Chan. Yeah. The Sui Chan drama,
Water repentance.
where I participated in the drum section, where we really build our relationship and really encourage each other to grow. During that time, when I first joined this team, all of us were wearing gray t-shirt. Yeah, we are all just 自工, just the normal volunteers. We have yet to join 见习 and 培训. Yeah, so yeah, but during that time, there was really some strong bonds that unite us together. So yeah, that's where I began to seriously look into Tzu Chi. And in year 2014, I joined my first trip to KKV. Our brother say, yeah, let's go. We go to KKV. I do not know what is KKV all about. What do we do there? I thought, yeah, it's just a home where we just go there to help clean up the place, distribute some gift, and then uh, share some stories, sing some song, and then we can go back. That is what I have experienced when I was young and I joined the one of church to go to this orphanage home. Yeah, that's how we do. So little that I know, when I reached there, thank God that during the trip on the bus, I managed to, I did spoke with the brother that is sitting beside me and get to know a little bit about what to expect in KKV. Even that, when the moment I stepped down from the bus, the smell that is coming from the home is tremendous, is something like the smell is very strong and bad smell, smell of 粪便,
urine and poo, yeah.
yeah, the urine and the poo, yeah, yeah. So, and I can hear some screaming sound, some mourning sound. There are all kinds of. It's very uneasy. Yeah, even before we step into the wards, and when we finally queue up for the briefing, and then during the briefing time, because the ward that I'm supposed to be in with the surgery, it was too many people, so I was allocated to another ward. And little did I know, it was the most severe ward that I went to. Yeah, when I eventually went into the ward, I got a shock of my life, because most of the peoples there, of course, they are all males. They are all naked or the most that they have is wearing pampers or diapers. Yeah, the adult diapers. And some of them are chained to their bed. Some of them were actually caged in a shell. Yeah. So the environment there is really bad. You can see pools, you can see urines all over on the floor. Yeah, and I saw some guys is picking up their waste and put in their mouth. That was really something that is really shocking to me. It's really hard for me during that time, and and some of them, their hands were curved, and they are not able to even stand up, you know. So I look at them and I look back at myself. I say all those problems that I face, all the financial problems, all the headaches that I have, compared to them is really nothing. Yeah, it's really, this is, that place is really a living hell on earth. Yeah. So I felt really, really compassionate, and 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 I felt really bad, you know, at the time. As I reflect back, how can I, just facing a little bit of problem, and I kept complaining about this, keep complaining about that. Yeah. So yeah, that is the passions that I built up, and so from then on, every month, because KKB is only once a month. So from then on, every month, almost every month, without fail, I will be there, yeah, to help them. Yeah, and in 2016, I took up the role as the entrepreneur key contact person for KKB activities. Yeah, so that is how I get involved with KKB. All right. So what is KKB? Yeah, KKB is actually an institution under the Ministry of Social Welfare. Yeah. It's provide care, protections for the OKU. Yeah. And this is a safe place for the child, for the children with disability, yeah, under the Children Act 2001. All right. All this information I got from the website, so you can check on the website of this social welfare, yeah, from the government. Okay. And they actually took patients from 3 years old until 18 years old. Yeah, and they provide care, protections, and rehabilitation. And if possible, they train these disability people to be able to be self-dependent. All right. So the main objective of this Sinar Harapan, yeah, Taman Sinar Harapan is actually to provide a shelter, a care for this unfortunate group of people, and especially families that are not able to take care of them, either financially or technically, yeah, or the resources they have in their own home. Okay, they are totally 7 Sinar Harapan in Malaysia. Yeah, these are the 7, and we specially highlighted Kuala Kubu Balu because this is the institutions that we have come in close contact with them. Yeah. KKB actually, Sinara Harapan KKB was initially started in year 1983. Yeah. So they take in both male and female, and from age 15 years old. Yeah. And most of them are mostly untrainable, means they are quite bad condition. Yeah. And bedridden. Okay. You see, I put a lot of Chinese words here because some of these I get direct translation from the Google translator. All right, so occupants here are mainly cerebral palsy, epilepsy, autism, and mental illness. Yeah, patients are mainly with this kind of illness. Yeah, and in June 1995, our brother Lin and sister Woon learned about the urgent need, yeah, of the institution. Basically, because the people there, the inmate or the resident there are too many with very limited staff during that time. Yeah, and also as this is just started not long, the resources and the support given to KKB at the time was also very much limited. All right. So from understanding the need, yeah, they gather our volunteers, yeah, to help out, and we started to learn how to handle these special childs. Yeah, how to move them, how to feed them, how to bathe them. Yeah, how to trim their hair, how to do their fingernail cutting. Yeah, because they are all cut off, so we cannot treat them as normal. And also their hair some of them have kutu and all this, so we have to take special care. Yeah, so that is what we basically do, and until today, this is still the things that we do when we visit KKB. Yeah, so some of these are basically things that we will do when we visit KKB every month. Yeah, and started from 1995. We have about 60 volunteers. Yeah, 60 volunteers is actually not much. So during that time, they only open up 3 wards for us. And then eventually they open up more. And till today, we have more than 200 volunteers every month going to KKB. Yeah. And since 1998, as the social media getting more influential in the society, the management, yeah, in KKB requested not to take photos. So whenever we visit KKB, we are not allowed to take photos. This point I need to specially bring out because this is something that, yeah, we normally will advise our volunteers not to do. Yeah. Okay. And not to share any photos in the ward with their friends in the social media. All right. And in 2020, our entrepreneur who builds the medical beds, we have donated totally in that year in totally 160 medical beds. All right. So my sharing background about KKB is at the end. I would like to share with you a short video clip. What we do. Yeah. All right. In the morning, we will just, yeah, assemble, and then we will start briefing. Yeah.
Brother, there's no sound, huh? Brother, can you up the volume, please?
This is already maximum.
Oh,
Okay. She was saying that she was very touched when she was assigned to do the hair cutting because when I asked who is able to do the hair cutting, she says this is the best that she knows. So she do the hair cutting, and she was sharing. She was really touched because she's thinking when she get old, uh, whether her children will do the same for her, doing the hair cutting and fingernail cutting and cleaning her. Yeah, that was her sharing just now. Normally, after we done the service, we will have a lunch together before we go back. Yeah. Okay, Canon. That's the end of my sharing. So, yeah.
Can earn so
Brother,
much. Can earn
yes,
so much, brother Andy is really, really touching. Just like Master always say, 艰苦之福. You
yes,
know, when you see suffering, then only you can realize your own blessing that there are many more people out there who are in worse shape, whether it's financially or physically than we are. So we should be very grateful for whatever that we have.
yes, whatever that we have. Really thankful for my parents that give me a very healthy body physically. Yeah. So I make use of this body to to return.
感恩, 感恩 is a great, lesson for every one of us, and great, grateful for the insight. So because of time constraint, we will slot Brother Liang and Sister Eileen for next week. We will be in touch again. So now the next
I'm
session.
sorry that I
No,
took too
no,
much time.
It was a great sharing, really great.
Yeah.
And I know that you're also rushing for the youth camp, yeah? Our Tzu Chi
Yes.
youth camp. So really 感恩 for the time that you have taken to prepare this. I know you're very busy with a lot of Tzu Chi activities. So, and Brother Andy, took the yesterday to do this, and he shared the file with me like almost midnight. So really, really 感恩, brother.
Ganan.
And okay,
Thanks
next,
for giving me the opportunity to share this. Thank you.
and next up we have Master Tesu to share with us a continuation on the non-violent communication. And I think this is very, very timely, as Master in this chapter number 15 has been talking about body, speech, and mind to bring peace and joy. How we should never create any more karma with our words and our actions. So, Master Tesu, without further ado, can I get you to start your sharing? 感恩师父.
Okay, thank you. So let me pull out my PPT. Okay, so good morning, everyone. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to continue to share with you about nonviolent communication. And this time it will be the 5th one and also the last of my series on nonviolent communication. Okay, so Master tells us that Bodhisattva path is the path we are to take in life. It's a long journey. It's also our life path. And this path is full of challenges. But the Bodhisattva path is also a spiritual path. If we don't take good care of our heart, we might go astray. Or when we encounter problems, we might stop and quit the path. So in walking the Bodhisattva path, we need to have ways that help us overcome challenges and motivate us to keep moving forward on the path. So there are 2 applications of nonviolent communication that are very useful in our spiritual cultivation, which is gratitude and repentance. There are also spiritual practices in Buddhism. Even though they are the same concepts, NVC offers another perspective on gratitude and repentance that can help us deepen our understanding of the practice. So practicing gratitude and repentance often can help us make progress on the Bodhisattva path and help us grow spiritually. And nonviolent communication is developed by Marshall Rosenberg, an American psychologist. And this method focuses on people's feelings and needs. So I would like to share with you how to use feelings and needs to express gratitude. And if we have done wrong, how to use feelings, needs, and empathy to help ourselves improve so that we become a better person. So in Tzu Chi, Master teaches us to be grateful, and harboring gratitude and expressing our gratitude to people is part of Tzu Chi's culture. Now, besides expressing our gratitude or appreciation, we also compliment people. And the way NVC expresses gratitude is not only through words, but also reveals what's going on in the person. It motivates people to give, and it can help us deepen our connection with people. It's a method that's worth learning. So to Marshall, expressing appreciation is not just praising someone for helping us. And he tells this story. One time, a participant approached Marshall at the end of a workshop. And so she said to Marshall, "You're brilliant." And Marshall said to her, "I'm not able to get as much out of your appreciation as I would like." And this lady said, "Why? What do you mean?" And Marshall said, "In my lifetime, I've been called a multitude of names, yet I can't recall seriously learning anything by being told what I am. I like to learn from your appreciation and enjoyed it, but I would need more information." And the lady said, "Like what?" So Marshall replied, "First, I'd like to know what I said or did that made life more wonderful for you." And the lady said, "Well, you're so intelligent." And Marshall said, "I'm afraid you've just given me another judgment that still leaves me wondering what I did that made life more wonderful for you." So this lady thinks for a while, and then she points to the notes that she had taken during the workshop and said, "Look at these two places. It was these two things that you said." And Marshall said, "Oh, so it's my saying those two things that you appreciate." And the lady said, "Yes." And Marshall said, "Well, next, I'd like to know how you feel in conjunction to my having said those two things." And the lady said, "Hopeful and relieved." And Marshall then asked, now I'd like to know what needs of yours were fulfilled by my saying those two things." And the lady said, "I have this 18-year-old son whom I haven't been able to communicate with. I've been desperately searching for some direction that might help me to relate to him in a more loving manner, and those two things you said provide the direction I was looking for." So in the story, this lady praised Marshall for what he said. And she said Marshall is brilliant and intelligent, but Marshall regards praise and compliments to be life alienating because appreciation expressed in this form reveals little of what's going on in the speaker and establishes the speaker as someone who sits in judgment. And he defines judgment, both positive and negative, as life alienating communication. And compliments are often judgments, however positive, of others. Expressing appreciation in this way doesn't really help us deepen our connection with people. So the way to express appreciation in MVC is to have these three components. First, the actions that have contributed to our well-being. And second, the particular needs of ours that have been fulfilled. And third, the pleasurable feelings engendered by the fulfillment of those needs. And the sequence of these components may vary. In the story, if the participant expressed her appreciation in MVC, it might have sounded like this: "Marshall, when you said these two things," and then showing her notes, "I felt very helpful and relieved because I've been searching for a way to make connection with my son, and these have gave me the direction I was looking for." So by receiving all three pieces of information, what he did, how she felt, and what needs of hers were fulfilled, Marshall could celebrate the appreciation with her. So that was expressing our gratitude. What about on the receiving end? Sometimes it's not easy for us to receive appreciation gracefully. We fret over whether we deserve it. Appreciation is usually received from one or two polar positions. At one end is egotism, believing ourselves to be superior because we are being appreciated. And at the other extreme is false humility, denying the importance of the appreciation by shrugging it off and saying that, "Oh, it was nothing." And neither of the two responses is good. The first one is ego. So there's a Jin aphorism where a master says that when we hear praises, we need to remind ourselves not to give rise to arrogance. And the second one is like someone wants to give us a gift, but we don't accept it. So you can imagine how disappointed that person would feel. So it's equally important to both receive and give appreciations. And MVC encourages us to receive appreciation with the same quality of empathy we express when listening to other messages. And we hear what we have done that has contributed to others' well-being. And we hear their feelings and the needs that were fulfilled. And we take into our hearts the joyous reality that we can each enhance the quality of others' life. So the last time I talked about the motive for doing something. And some people do things for fear of punishment, others do things for reward. But the best is to inspire compassionate giving in people, where they give from their heart because they know what they do can enrich the lives and the lives of others. So one way to inspire people to give is express our gratitude to them. So there's a Jin's aphorism that says, when we are grateful, we will be touched. When we are touched, we will be inspired to take action. And Master is very good at bringing out compassion in people because she's always expressing gratitude to volunteers for helping people in suffering. So the people we help can motivate us to do more to help other people in need. Now, in Taiwan, Tzu Chi has a service of delivering assistive devices to families in need. So one time, volunteers received words that a family needed help. It's a family of 4, 2 parents and 2 daughters. The daughters used to sleep on a double-bed mattress while the parents slept on the floor. So this family needed mattresses. So the volunteers thought that it was going to be a simple delivery, but it turned out that they had to carry 2 large mattresses up 10 flights of narrow staircase because the elevator is too small. So now let's watch a clip of Thai News video about this family.
台北市大同区的老旧公寓，慈济志工这一天当幸福派送员，专程送来2张2手弹簧床垫。
他们家就是大概9坪多，那完全都没有隔间。姐妹呢，就是睡在双人床上，那爸爸妈妈呢就睡在地上啊，地上就铺着毯子。所以今天呢，就是呢特别为他们送床垫过来的。
公寓里虽有电梯，但空间过于窄小，床垫根本塞不进去。6位年纪都超过60岁的志工，只好改从楼梯逐层搬运上楼。
过来，倒着走。因为电梯比较小，上不去，就劳烦我们的很多的师兄师姐5、6位，然后一层一层能够搬到这个10楼来。看到我们慈济人这种难行能行的精神真的很感佩。
费了9牛2虎之力，床垫终于搬到家门口。志工带着陈家姐妹把屋里整理了一番，接着将床垫做了妥善的归置。
由衣橱呢来做隔间，有他们自己的一个小空间。那爸爸妈妈呢也有爸爸妈妈的空间。这个就是年节送暖，希望呢他们能够安心的过个好年。
爸爸，满意吗？接受志工的祝福，母女3人坐在床垫上，露出久违的笑容。有了这份爱的礼物，他们一家子也能欢喜迎接新年。大新闻，这是女志工梁宝莲、黄荣辉台北报道。
So, and here is another video where a volunteer talked to Master about their experience of delivering mattress to the family.
在去年的1月，接到我们这个方事所说有一个床垫要送到我们这个宁夏路一个公寓说10楼，那我们就很开心嘛。这个应该很简单的一件事情因为有电梯嘛就搬上去就好了。结果那个电梯非常的小，电梯修缮没进去。因为没当好，所以就上来当的真的是非常的辛苦，差不多5辆的车到那刚好去到上面那感动的在哪里呢？因为我们把床铺那个床铺还蛮新的，结果他的安家的爸爸是那天刚好外出不在。安家的妈妈跟女儿坐在那个新的床铺上那种会心的这种微笑他太辛苦都没给9层而已啦，梯子又非常窄，又非常的窄，真的是上去那种出高坡的皮看到那种欢喜 那种离苦得乐的感觉，真的是非常的感动啊，也非常的说啊，好在虽然咱已经有会啊，但是咱都搬得去，妈妈非常的欢喜。
Okay, so from the video, we could see the mother's happiness when the family received the mattresses, and her smile really touched the volunteers' hearts. And because they are very touched, they are inspired to continue to help more people like this family, even though the work is laborious. So when we encounter difficulties in Tzu Chi's work, how do we find the motivation to continue the work? It's from gratitude. People's gratitude can give us the energy to continue the work. And this is why on the Bodhisattva path, we need to thank people often. And when we express our gratitude to people, it gives them the motivation to serve. And when we receive other people's appreciation of us, we gain Dharma joy. And with Dharma joy, we can keep on moving forward on the Bodhisattva path. So in spiritual cultivation, I think the hardest part, the hardest thing to deal with is ourselves, such as when we've made a mistake. And the Buddha tells us that when we did something wrong, we are to self-reflect and repent. Yet to face ourselves and deal with negative emotions like shame, guilt, or blaming ourselves, or think ourselves as a bad person is not very easy. It's a lot easier to blame it on someone or something, or even to just ignore it. But this won't solve our problem. We'll continue to make mistakes and never learn from them. So MBC provides a very good way for us to deal with our mistakes and our limitations. It tells us how to use our feelings, needs, and empathy to reflect on what we have done wrong, transform our negative feelings, and help us learn from our mistakes so we can grow. So when we realize that we've made a mistake, our usual reaction is to criticize ourselves. We might tell ourselves, what a stupid thing to do. How could you be such an idiot? That was so selfish. Or, what's wrong with you? You shouldn't do that. So how do we learn to say these things to ourselves? And Marshall says that these are the words we've heard from other people when we haven't done what they want. And then we learn to do that to ourselves. We learn to judge ourselves in a way that implies that there's something wrong with us for what we did. And this is a very costly way to think. So Marshall worked with patients with mental illnesses. And in his clinical training, he was taught to look at depression as an illness, as a mental illness. But then he came to see depression in quite a different way. He realized that depression is created in the same way that anger is created by the language which you have been educated to use. So anger is created by a language we use whenever people behave in ways we don't like. And Marshall finds that depression is created by people judging themselves in a way that creates a depression. They have been educated to blame themselves and others. They are depressed because they are thinking what's wrong with them and being disconnected from what needs of theirs that are not being met. For example, Marshall asked his patient, what needs of yours are not being met? And the patient will reply, I'm a failure. And the Marshall asked about needs. The patient told him a judgment they have of themselves. So after he explained the difference between judgment and needs, the patient then thought about it again and said, I compare myself to my brother and sister, and I see what they've accomplished in life, and I see what I have. It just shows me that I'm a failure. This shows that it's the kind of thinking that makes us depressed. What we tell ourselves about ourselves, that we judge ourselves in a way we've been trained to judge people. And it's these judgments that imply badness, wrongness, inferiority, abnormality that creates the depression. So Marshall will help these patients transform these judgments into unmet needs. And then they will experience a different world when they get connected to the need that isn't getting met, rather than get stuck in those ways in which they judge themselves. So Marshall tells the story of a young lady in a mental hospital. And let's listen to the story.
One day, I was going to be doing a workshop in one country in the evening, and one of the people coordinating my schedule in that country said, "Marshall, would you think it'd be all right if I brought my daughter to the workshop tonight? She's in a mental hospital now. She's been there for some time, and she's terribly depressed, and she just sits and doesn't say anything and stares at the floor. Do you think it would hurt her to come to your training this evening?" I said, "Well, there's going to be a lot of people there, and I don't think I'll be able to do any work specifically with her, but if you want to bring her, I don't see any problem." So that night, the mother brought her daughter, about 19 years old, to the workshop, and I could see as soon as she walked in how sad she looked. She just looked down at the floor, and she sat down and looked down at the floor. The whole night, she just seemed to be very, very depressed. During the course of that evening, I told the group some thoughts about depression that I mentioned a few minutes ago, that I saw depression not as a result of an illness that people have, but simply that they're thinking about themselves in a way that creates the depression, and that if we can get people to identify this thinking and be conscious that that thinking is all a distortion of their needs and teach them how to hear their needs, there's a radical transformation comes about. People don't get stuck in the depression. They can start to imagine ways of getting the needs met in a more fulfilling way. And I gave a couple examples of that evening. At the end of the evening, they were going to take a picture of me for publicity purposes, and just at the moment that they were going to snap the picture, it looked to me as though somebody was coming to hit me, because I saw an arm being thrown toward me, and I quickly looked over, and it was this young woman, and she was throwing her arm around me. But the picture got snapped just at that point where I was still thinking that someone's trying to hit me, and so I looked very deranged in this picture. But she had such a benevolent look on her face. It's been one of my favorite pictures that I've kept for years. I look like the person who earlier that day had been in a mental hospital. And as she's throwing her arm around my neck, she's saying, "Thank you, Marshall, thank you so much for showing me that my depression is a result of what I'm telling myself, that it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with me." She came out of the hospital the next day, and that was about 10 years ago now, and I've kept track of her progress with her mother, and the mother told me she's doing very well. Now, the next day when she came out of the hospital, I did work with her and give her a little bit of practice on how to identify these inner messages that tell us there's something wrong with ourselves, and how to translate these messages into unmet needs. And to see that when we hear our unmet needs, what comes to our consciousness are possibilities for meeting these needs. But when we think in the static language of what's wrong with us, what are we, selfish, stupid, inconsiderate, when we have that language going on inside of ourselves, about ourselves, that doesn't lead us to get our needs met. Our needs are buried behind that kind of thinking.
So after we've learned a mistake, how can we learn from our mistake without losing self-respect? And we do this by shifting our mindset from blaming ourselves to finding our feelings and needs. So we mourn in the MVC way, but to mourn without blaming. And there's a difference between mourning and blaming ourselves. Mourning requires that we be connected to our need that wasn't met by our behavior. When we are connected to that, we might feel sadness, frustration, but these are quite different feelings in terms of their effect on our spirit and on our bodies. When we blame ourselves, we feel depressed, guilty, or ashamed. Whenever we see ourselves blaming ourselves for a mistake, become conscious of the blame, see what we are telling ourselves, and be conscious that it's a tragic expression of an unmet need. So mourning in MVC is the process of fully connecting with the unmet needs and feelings that are generated when we have been less than perfect. It's an experience of regret, but regret that helps us learn from what we have done without blaming or hating ourselves. We see how our behavior ran counter to our own needs and values, and we open ourselves to feelings that arise out of that awareness. When our consciousness is focused on what we need, we are naturally stimulated towards the creative possibilities of how to get that need met. In contrast, the moralistic judgments we use when blaming ourselves tend to obscure such possibilities and to perpetuate a state of self-punishment. So life disconnected mourning happens when we are connected to the judgmental thoughts about who was wrong or whose fault it was. It's very easy from this mindset to then go into punitive justice or looking for some form of vengeance or retribution. In life-connected mourning, we're present to the feelings that are flowing through us, but we're staying connected to the universal human need underlying them. So, for example, imagine I have the enthusiastic intention to contribute, but then somebody gives me feedback that my attempts resulted in the opposite. If this happens, I might feel a lot of disappointment and sadness. And in life-connected mourning, I let myself feel the disappointment and sadness, and I'm present to it, but I also make sure that I'm connected to the need called contribution. I can mourn that in this particular circumstance, contribution wasn't met or satisfied. If I stay with it, I can reach the point where I'm able to clearly distinguish in my consciousness between the pain of the unmet need and the beauty of the need itself. The need itself, the energy called contribution, is a beautiful energy. It just happens that in this situation, it wasn't fulfilled. So I feel disappointment and sadness. This will be an example of life-connected mourning. We feel the feelings, but we stay connected with the deeper needs rather than being stuck in our judgmental or blaming thinking. So how do we connect with our feelings and needs? Well, first, we calm our mind and try to relax our body. If you have a hard time calming your mind, try to take deep breath and focus on your breathing. And then just do nothing, just being with yourself. We all have an innate nature of awakening, and this includes self-awareness. If we just stay with the feelings and needs, rather than any thoughts or stories involving blame, judgment, criticism, wrongness, or punitive retribution, something remarkable tends to happen. At some point, we are able to differentiate between the pain of the unmet need and the beauty of the need itself. If we stay with the feelings and needs long enough, our self-awareness will let us know what our feelings are and the needs behind the feelings. Sometimes the feelings are revealed in layers. You realize one feeling, and later you might realize there are other feelings beneath that first feeling. So you do this again to let those other feelings and needs manifest. It might take several tries to understand all your feelings regarding a situation. So that is the first part to MVC mourning, which is translating the self-judgment into an unmet need. Now, the second part to MVC mourning is self-empathy and self-forgiveness. After we've done wrong, we feel regret. And when other people make mistakes, we forgive them. So when we make mistakes, we should also forgive ourselves. But forgive ourselves doesn't mean that I made a mistake and it's okay, so we continue to make mistakes. The forgiveness in MVC is empathizing with ourselves first and then forgive ourselves. So self-empathy is empathizing with our needs being expressed behind self-blame. So ask ourselves this question: what need was I trying to meet by doing this behavior that we are calling a mistake? When we are connected with the need, that's self-forgiveness. When we listen empathically to ourselves, we'll be able to hear the underlying need. Self-forgiveness occurs the moment this empathic connection is made. then we're able to recognize how our choice was an attempt to serve life, even as the mourning process teaches us how it fell short of fulfilling our needs. So when it comes to dealing with mistakes, Marshall says that even when we do learn a lesson from mistakes through judging ourselves harshly, he worries about the nature of the energy behind that kind of change and learning. He would like change to be stimulated by a clear desire to enrich life for ourselves or for others, rather than destructive energy such as shame or guilt. He thinks that shame is a form of self-hatred, and actions taken in reaction to shame are not free and joyful acts. So in MVC, he wants people to evaluate themselves in ways that engender growth rather than self-hatred. So when we are doing something that is not enriching life, our challenge is to evaluate ourselves moment by moment in a way that inspires change, both first, in the direction of where we would like to go, and two, out of respect and compassion for ourselves, rather than out of self-hatred, guilt, or shame. And the process of mourning and self-forgiveness free us in the direction of learning and growing. In connecting moment by moment to our needs, we increase our creative capacity to act in harmony with them. So mourning in nonviolent communication is like repentance in Buddhism. The Buddhist dictionaries provide many explanations for repentance. And here are two explanations. Repentance is about knowing the wrongs we've done, revealing the wrongs, and not making the same wrongs again. And repentance is also about rectifying our wrongs and creating wholesome karma for the future. When we have done wrong and gone astray, we want to change our wrong behavior and bring our direction back toward the right path. So the spirit of repentance is to bring ourselves toward the wholesome direction. So the Bodhisattva path is a long journey. It's also our life path. So as we walk on the Bodhisattva path, we hope we can always walk on this path. So to motivate others to walk on this path, we express our gratitude to them. And receiving gratitude from others can inspire us to keep on giving and helping people. So when we've done something wrong and veer off from the path, we repent or mourn. And we want to develop self-awareness for what we've done wrong, change our behavior, adjust our direction, so we can stay on the Bodhisattva path and grow spiritually. Now, these two hearts, the heart of gratitude and the heart of repentance, are very important and very much needed for our spiritual cultivation. So there's cultivate both on the Bodhisattva path and also encourage one another to do the same. And so this is my talk today. So thank you for listening.
Cảm ơn so much, Master Deshu. It's really, really, insightful in, how we think of ourselves and how we can actually find our way out and head in the right direction and grow in a positive manner. And this, your series of talk has been really helpful, and how, Master Deshu, you are able to relate, everything that Marshall Rosenberg has been talking about, non-violent communication, and relate it to the Dharma that we have been listening from Master Zhenyan. This is really, really helpful, how, we can actually connect so well. Dharma is in our everyday life. It's in our speech, our action, in our thoughts. Yes, 感恩 so much, 师父. But if I can request for everyone here to switch on the video so that we can take a picture with Master Deshu. Sister Lily, can you please do that?
感恩的苏师父 for another wondrous session.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Future 感恩真的是很好。
Okay, 感恩师父。
感恩师父。 We
Yeah.
look forward to the next session, Master Tutu.
And
Thank you.
thank you. Next
Yeah.
up, we would like to invite Sister Betty Dixon from Philippines to share about an unexpected decision that has changed, I'm sure her life. And, what exactly that happens that brought on that change and, the best decision that she said she has made. Yeah, over to you, Sister Betty.
Hi, good morning everyone, and good morning, Master Teshu. Um, I'm very thankful to have the chance to learn with all of you today, and also thank you for Sister Sintin for inviting me. So I would like to share the unexpected best decision that happens in my life, and actually it's that leads me to my vegan journey. And actually it was the two unexpected best decision that leads me to it. Before I start my sharing, may I know who are already vegetarian here, if it's okay? Can you comment V, if you're already vegetarian, if it's okay? Okay, seems everyone is kind of shy. Oh, me. Um, comment or may comment B. Wow. Okay, comment me. Okay, seems there's a lot. We're already vegetarian. How about vegan? May we comment one if you're already vegan? Okay, so seems there are a lot already vegetarian, and um maybe the vegan are shy, so haven't comment yet. So the first unexpected best decision that happened to me is actually I know Chuchi before from the ITV, and then um and then I started joining Chuchi when um it's kind of funny story because it's like my mom tricked me to join the Chuchi youth camp, because before I was someone who's very shy, and like I won't join anything if I don't know anyone there. And then um I feel very blessed because the Chuchi volunteers are really very sweet and very caring. Like they called me, and then I joined the youth camp, and it really changed my life. Which when we know when we're in city, there are a lot of sessions and camp and etc. And after joining the camp, I was open that, oh, there's something called vegetarian and vegan. um but but since I was grown in a heavy meat eater family, like when live in a heavy meat eater family, you will feel like if your meal, like if your lunch or any meal don't have meat, you will feel like, oh, it feels like it lacks something. You feel like the meal is incomplete. So I know that time, it's 2014. I know that vegan and vegetarian is very good. There are a lot of benefits, but I did not consider it yet that time. And then since 2014 up to 2019, I consistently joined the camp and volunteer activities and many more. Um until 2019, the youth camp in Taiwan with the youth. And then again, there are a lot of sharing happened. And then after the camp, we went to travel with our Chuchi youth friends. And then on this second picture is the last dinner. Unexpectedly my last dinner that was that was not meat. That was meat. Actually, after the camp, we're thinking, oh, finally, maybe I'll go vegan, vegetarian, but I still don't. I still eat meat that time, and then suddenly, um, my Chuchi youth friend Kyle, he asked like, "Have you ever thought of becoming a vegetarian one day?" Actually, that time, I already met a lot of volunteers and youths that was very inspiring. So, but I can't decide that time. So I started from one vegetarian per week, and then to two, and then to many more, until I think that time I go vegetarian 20 days for a month, but still cannot decide. And then when brother Kyle asked me if I want to go vegetarian, that time I said yes, but maybe when I'm old. and then and then we had a lot of debate, and then he also asked, um isn't it hard? Like, cause like I cross out the calendar, like every day I cross and count, and then like how many cheat days, how many vegetarian days. So like it feels like calculating every time. And then he asked, have you ever feel like during your cheat days you eat more meat? And then I realized, oh no, yeah, it's kinda like that. And then it feels like I'm doing it, um but but it's not enough, because like it's not what we like. What's like the mission why we go vegetarian vegan is not like, it's not really in line. And then it's also feel like very hard counting and counting. And then we still have a lot of debate. And then the one of there's also a funny debate, like he said, like, why don't you just go vegetarian? And then maybe when you're not yet ready, you will give a lot of decision, like excuses, and say something just to avoid to make that decision, even you know it's the right thing. And then I remember that I even shared uh okay, it's kind of like secret, but I think it's not really a secret anymore. like because I asked my mom, like, what did you eat with father when in your first date? And then they said it's beef steak. So I said maybe when I meet the right one, and then I have a date and eat beef steak first before I go vegetarian. And then it's really many useless excuses just not to go vegetarian. And then the debate go and go. And then we just realized that life is impermanent, because like because we never know what will come first, if it's um tomorrow or impermanent. And then that time we're four of, and then the guy in the middle of the picture, he was actually vegetarian already, after he joined the youth camp. And then Kyle is the one who is standing, and then the one with eyeglasses is my sister, and then the one wearing black is his sister. And then after the debate, we said like, oh, maybe we do buy two take two, like when me and my sister go vegetarian, he and his sister will go vegetarian too. And then that night, unexpectedly, four of us became vegetarian. And then it became one of my best decision. But after that, um I really never imagined that I will go vegan one day, because before I went vegetarian, my mom is actually also a volunteer, and she is very religious. She's actually the first one who want to go vegetarian in our family. But that time, because I don't know, I'm not very aware of the benefits, and like people can go vegetarian or vegan. So that time I even argue with my mom, because I think doing good deeds is enough, volunteering is enough. Why do we still need to go vegetarian? Maybe it's not healthy or etc. But like little did I know, I will be the first who went vegan in my family. So um like when we first, I was lacto ovo vegetarian. So this is actually what we eat as a ovo vegetarian. And then after, when you just went vegan, you just cancel some stuffs. And actually it's better for our health, because some people are lactose intolerant and some people have allergy in eggs. So actually going vegan is actually a healthier choice. And then during that time, also also many challenges that happened. So I went vegetarian. It's when is that? 2017 December 30, and then I went vegan is July 9, 2019. Like I'm thinking maybe what else I can do, because a vegetarian is good, but I'm thinking maybe I can do something more. And also, like, I met so many people in Chuchi that they can go vegan and then they're happy and they're good. And then I'm thinking maybe I can also, but I'm very indecisive and thinking maybe waiting for the sign. And then because the date is um 7/9/2019. So in Chinese it sounds like 一起久的爱你永久, it feels like forever. Like it feels like good wishes for myself. Like I can do this I can be in this vegan journey forever. So I think, and then that time my mom also had a thyroid cancer, and then also many challenges that happened. And I know vegan is good, but I cannot tell people to go vegan when I'm not vegan. So I and so I started it from myself. And also, like, we're living in a same earth, so same home. So when something happens to our earth, something happens to our home, all of us will be affected. And we can only inspire and ask people to do it if we ourselves are doing it. Just like Master Chengyin said, like only by first lighting up our heart can we inspire others to do the same. So that day I decided to go vegan. And during the journey, um people will think, oh, maybe I will have a little food to eat. But actually, there are a lot of yummy vegan food. Even when you go outside, it can also train you to talk to people, because when you went vegan, you need to talk to the waiter or the people there to customize your food, to make sure it's vegan. So it's a very fun experience. And also you can play with the vegetables. Like before, I just know limit vegetables and I'm very picky of the food. And after I went vegan, I realized that there are a lot of yummy vegetables, and I become more appreciative of the food. And also, like, this is the broccoli, and okra, you can play with it and do some creative stuffs. And then it's also very fun to go vegan. You just need to make your plate colorful, to make sure you have enough nutrients. And then, so during the journey, maybe sometimes you will have some temptation. Maybe I remember, like, I I love to share I love to share and ask people to try vegan and vegetarian food with me. And then I remember one time, I I'm how do you say that? I think maybe I'm craving for, I bought a vegan beef and it's yummy. And then I'm sharing with a volunteer. And then that time, I did not realize that while sharing how good the it tastes, and maybe it it sparked some bad thought. And then I got a karma, and then I burned myself this one, because that time I was cooking, the oil pops. And then it reminds me of, even during volunteering, or in a or in this vegan journey, it's just like this quote, like weeds do not easily grow in a field planted with vegetables. Evil does not easily arise in a heart filled with goodness. Like in this volunteering journey or in this vegan journey, we might encounter many stuffs and maybe some challenges or things that will affect us, or some desires that will affect us, but we always fill our mind with wisdom and stuffs. It can help us cleanse our heart and our mind. And then in this journey, it's all since being vegan, and after going vegan, I really enjoy and really feel the benefits. It really helped also my mental health, because before I actually someone pessimistic, like something happens to me, I always think the negative stuffs. And then after going vegan, it's also helped me to become more strong, because I always think like, oh, it's so, because as a foodie and as someone who loves to eat meat before, I'm thinking that not eating meat, it's so very hard. So since I cannot eat meat and I can do it, so no more difficult things can bring me down. Yeah. And then I also share my vegan journey through social media to let more people feel like going vegan, it doesn't limit our choices. We can still have a lot of yummy foods to eat, and it also can care for our environment and also compassionate to animals, and can still enjoy our life. And then it won't also affect our relationships, because when we explain it to our friends, we can always share to them, oh, how about, would you like to try a challenge today, go vegan with me? Or usually our friends and family, they will also be curious. Maybe at first, family, not everyone will understand. Maybe they will think that it's not healthy enough, or others. But when we take care ourselves and let them see that we're good and everything is okay, as time goes, they will also understand. Just like this picture, in different perspective, we can see different things. And also, like in this vegan journey, we might experience different stuffs. Or sometimes, when we eat outside, maybe we might maybe the waiter or the staffs there, they might accidentally serve stuff that was not vegan or vegetarian, and maybe we'll feel guilty or sad. But just like Master Deshu shared a while ago, we can forgive ourselves, repent, and not do it again. So after that, we will just forgive ourselves and continue in this vegan journey, or in this vegan journey, or in this vegetarian journey. Because as humans, sometimes there are stuffs that uncontrollable, and it's okay as long as we're learning. And then I also shared with my friends, and I found out many people don't want to go vegan because they think it's too perfect. And that's also one of the reasons before I'm scared of going vegan before, because I'm thinking that it might be too perfect. And after I went vegan, I'm also not very confident to share with others that I went vegan, because I'm thinking it was too perfect. But after in this journey, I realized it's not really about being perfect. It is just doing what you can do. Because in this vegan journey, it is not perfect. It's just a way to have the best wishes for everyone and everything, as easy as starting the good deed from what you put in your mouth. and life is impermanent. Many things are unexpected, just like having the chance to learn with all of you today. Maybe being part in this vegan journey will be your unexpected best decision too. Or if ever all of us are already blessed being part in this vegan journey, maybe this is a great sign to share this blessing to more. I truly hope that everyone were blessed with courage and wisdom in this Bodhisattva road and in this vegan journey road. 无限感恩。
Thank you so much, Sister Betty. It's great to see how, you've joined this vegan movement that is picking up momentum all over the world, especially among the younger people. So this is what actually gives me hope that, things can change, for the better as far as, climate change is concerned because of this, the younger people are catching on, whereas the older one, well, I'm glad I'm vegetarian, but still haven't, pluck up the guts to say, I want to go vegan yet. So we have a little bit of time, and I'd like you to share with us, what do you have for breakfast and how do you prepare your lunch and your dinner? I'm sure you're busy, you have other commitments. So what do you do to make sure that you have enough nutrients? A lot of people are always worried, right? When you go vegan, do you get enough of protein? Are you eating healthily? That sort of things. Yeah. If you can share with us, we have a bit of time.
Okay. So for the breakfast, I really love our Jingsu products like the the ukufen multi-grain powder. Yeah, the multi-grain powder and many more. We just need hot water and mix it. It's very easy. And also the whole grain bread. Actually we just need to check the ingredients or research, and there are vegan bread options like in the Philippines. Oh, sorry. Like we can check, there are many options, and also, or if you like some 小薏米粥. What is the 薏米粥?
Millet.
Yeah,
porridge.
the millet. Yeah, there are so many options, and or the oatmeal, it's also good. And sometimes we may pair it with some fruits and vegetable fruits, or if you're if you have more time in the morning, you can also cook some vegetables or miswa.
Oh,
Like
you ordered miswa as well in the Philippines.
yeah, I love miswa. And yeah, it really actually depends on the time we have, but mostly I just do the multigrain powder because it's faster. And for the lunch, I just mix different color of vegetables. And during my busy days, I love eating noodles, so I just mix different colors of vegetables and put it in my noodles. Or I just make sure I have like protein like tofu, broccoli, kale, spinach. They're rich in protein, calcium, and have some fruits and a tomato. Just make sure, for me the shortcut is always make sure our food is like a rainbow, like as many color as possible. Don't just eat like 2 colors, eat as many color as possible. Yeah.
I think that is true. I have to confess that I actually have got to learn to cook better. But at the end of the day is, eat simple and good meals, like you say, multicolor, not only just a feast to the eyes, but also very, very healthy to the body. So I can open the floor for questions. Anyone with questions for Sister Betty? think everyone is pretty shy, and as you can see from the chat. Yes.
Can I just, I mean, I'm first of all, I don't cook, and neither am I a vegan. So I'm just wondering, from Sister Betty's experience, when you go on a vegan, tell me, how does it internalize you in terms of your cultivation? If you understand my question.
Like how go vegan cultivate me.
Yeah, how does it change you when you internalize that? How does it change you in terms of your spirituality?
In my in spiritual in terms of spiritual okay, it makes my tongue hard. In terms of spirituality, okay, it makes me more compassionate, because at first I start going vegetarian because I think it's good for the environment, and for the earth. And then after I went vegan, I became more compassionate because I realized that like going vegetarian, like we don't eat chicken, right? We don't eat chicken because chicken will get hurt. But after when you go vegan, you will not just you will understand that if we eat eggs, um people need to people need to care for a chicken to have eggs. And then it's like a very long, very, it feels like a very long, um how do you call that? 折磨，妙龄折磨的英文怎么说？ Sorry, it feels like a very, oh sorry, my English
Torturous.
torture. It's like a very long torture for the life of a chicken, because and for them to be with us, and then to produce egg. And then what if the chicken cannot produce egg anymore? What will their life end? And then for the cows, maybe we just think, oh, we just get their milk. But for a cow to have milk, they need to be pregnant. And then when we research, there are a lot, and then they actually it was like, it's kind of like the cow was being being raped just to have the milk. And the milk, we did not even give it to their baby cow, but we get it from them and use it for our human. So it's also a long-term torture. Like being vegetarian, we care for for their lives, but being vegan, we don't just care for their lives, but we also care how, like, care for, like, we try to stand in their feet and how they live. And you will feel like it's very hurtful to be in their position. And we also and when we apply it in our life, not just the animals, we also become more compassionate with our family and friends. We learn to know more how to stand in their point of view. Like sometimes before, maybe when people did something to you or say something to you, maybe you will be very hurt very quickly. And then after you go vegan, you will think, oh, maybe that person is experiencing something. Maybe he or she is having a big problem. Maybe he or she doesn't really want to hurt you or say something bad to you, but he or she is actually having a problem or something like something like that. And it also make me become more self-disciplined and many more. But I also still got a lot of things to learn. I still have many bad habits, but for me, going vegan, it's like a little sun in my life because it always reminds me that no matter how hard or how many problems I encounter, I can do it. Because for me, being vegan is not easy, but it's also the easiest thing we can do because we just choose what we put in our mouth. And every time I eat, it makes me become more mindful. And every time I eat, it reminds me, oh, I at least in this easiest thing I'm doing something good. Maybe we cannot see it directly, but for the long term, for sure it will have an effect. Thank you, Kanan.
Maybe let me ask it another way.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from eating,
Mm-hmm.
when you are working
Mm-hmm.
or when you're interacting with your friends,
Mm-hmm.
how does it change the way you think
Change
in
the
your
way
life?
I think.
Since you
Actually,
become vegan, how does it change the way you think other than eating?
other than eating. Actually at first, when I went vegan, I'm very like I think, oh, I found a very good stuff. I found a very good gift or very good solution. I want to share it to all of my friends and family. And then after that, I realized that we all have different journey. So maybe I'm very, very blessed that I can go vegan, but not everyone have a same life situation with me. So we all have different challenges. So we will try to become more understanding. And toward my friends, I think in terms of the relationship, it's still the same. And then when we eat together, um I think my friends are really very nice because every time I ask them to eat out with me, I always said that, oh, you're eating with me. I do not I don't ask them like go vegan with me. I just said that, oh, would you like to try this dish and this dish? Um and then I feel very blessed because they usually go eat vegan with me, yeah. And just let them feel that it's good. But actually vegan is not just about foods, it's also about what we wear, what we use, like it's cruelty free, not testing on animals. So it makes me more conscious with the things I buy. Because before I just see, oh, I love to eat this. Oh, I love to use this. I love this clothes or love this, and then buy. And then after I went vegan, I'm become more conscious in spending and buying stuffs. And then my friends, since they know I'm vegan, so when they give me stuff, they also become more aware. They will ask like, "Oh, Betty, is this vegan? Is this vegan? Can I give this to you?" They become more aware also. So I think maybe it's just the matter of time. Because like for me, it took I think 2014 to 2017. It took almost 24, 16. Okay. Hindi, isiyo nga, Ina. I think it takes about 3 years. 3 years just for me to decide to go vegetarian, and about 2 years for me to decide go vegan. So I think it's just a matter of time. Maybe they have different journey, and yeah.
So you say, interestingly, you mentioned about your relationship. You say your relationship is the same, right?
Yeah,
So
I think it's just the same. Mm.
I mean, I assume when you say the same, does that mean all your relationships that you have, they're also all vegan, or are they follow you being vegan, or they're still, the same as they were before?
Um, some of them are meat eaters, some of them are vegan, some are vegetarian. Like, actually, I don't choose my friends based on what they eat. But I always inspire them that there is a choice. We can go vegan, and it's easy and fun, and it's the easiest thing to do something good. And actually, I have actually one of maybe it's kind of hard because actually I was engaged last year, and my fiance is actually a meat eater. Yeah, and maybe because I'm a challenger. I'm a challenger. I love challenges maybe. So luckily, I love cooking. So no matter what I cook, he will eat. And then no matter, and every time we go out, he respects me. Um, because I'm vegan. So he will go to vegan restaurant or go to a meat eater restaurant, but will eat vegan stuffs with me. Because I think it's fun because people when people see you are happy doing what you love, and they see you have a mission and you're really into it, um they will um they will be like shikano huama, they will be also inspired. I mean, they will be happy to join you. Maybe when you're not with them, they might not eat. They might not go vegan or vegetarian, but at least when they're with you, they're doing it. And I believe it is just a matter of time for them. Maybe one day they will also be inspired and do it
I, I,
also. Yeah.
I can see you're elated uh, with your sharing. I think if I'm sitting with you, I'll probably go vegan too.
Yeah, you
Looking at
must
the way
try, brother.
your positive vibes coming out from you, and so that's why I asked you the question about relationship, people you interact with. So, for example, in your whole family, are they all vegan?
No, actually, me, my mom, and my sister, and me, three of us were vegan, but my brother and my father were not vegan. They're still they still eat meat, but they respect us. Like sometimes they even at first they may be like they don't understand why we do it, but now they also cook vegan foods. Yeah.
Okay, so interestingly, in that situation, how do you be harmonious with the family where you eat differently? How do you uphold that harmony in a family when you're so different in your diet? How do you
So
do that?
so at first, I also don't know how to handle it sometimes. At first, I sometimes guilt trip them. Like I it which is not a good decision like before because I don't know. So I sometimes guilt trip them like, oh, like let them feel vegan is the right thing to do. But then I understand that it's not the good thing to guilt trip people. People will, the more you do that, the more they will push it away. So the best thing I learned with my experience is to respect their decision. Like if they want to do that, they want to eat that, they want to choose that, just respect them. And then let them feel what you're doing, and then share your food, and then try to learn some yummy recipes and share with them. And then little by little they will also be interested and curious about it. Just like don't like straightforward too much straightforward, they will they will shield themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally understand that, and think some families struggle, right?
Mm.
Then vegetarian or vegan, and then the rest of them don't. All right, Canon, so much, Sister Patty,
And
for
kanon,
the very
brother.
enlightening sharing and your journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, kanon.
Sister Betty, I think, the lesson about this is, when your hearts open up, compassion pours out like, opening a floodgate, and life can be so much simpler when you have love for others. So, you really practice the 5R: refuse, reduce, reuse, repair, and recycle. Thank you so much, Sister Betty. And thank you, everybody, for joining us this morning. And if we could put our palms together and pay homage to Buddha, our master, and also our Sifu. Yeah, first bow, second bow, third bow, and also a bow to our Abbot Sifu.感ơn, brothers and sisters, again for your time, and we hope to see you again next week. Thank you so much, Sister Betty and Sister Hualien, who is still here with us. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you next week.
Cảm ơn Sister Kaping and cảm ơn everyone. Cảm ơn to all our wonderful speakers. Cảm ơn. See everyone next week.